Hello and happy Tuesday, Care Bears, Podkillers, every capsuleer in between. This is your bite-sized weekly dose of New Eden news, tips, and information. This week, we read data and graphs so you don't have to. Eternal Armada is hiring. I didn't know you could lose that much in one lost mail. And we speak with Shampizzle and Shay of the brilliantly named The Coalition.
First up in the news, the month of November was a very busy one in New Eden. We've got some fun numbers for you here. There was 78.3 trillion ISK in circulation. 425,000 ships were sold on the market. 661,912 kills were racked up, you bloodthirsty pew-pewers. 94.5 billion metric cubic tons of ore was mined, you crazy Care Bears. The region by far with the most cubic metric tons mined, as well as the most planetary materials collected, was Aquarius. The SOV test server will still be active for about a week, so you better get that chance to destroy a Corp Citadel before that time is up. QC and TF have mostly conquered the Echo subreddit, drowning out most other content with their propaganda wars. Let's keep the game and community fun and engaging for everyone.
As we get closer to SOV, Plex keeps inflating. It has gone up from 770k last week to 940k currently. Beware that this bubble could burst at any time, particularly after SOV hits, so be wise about when to sell. Now for your Corp ad of the week. That's what we would have here if we had one. Join the show's Discord and give us your Corp ad, and get yourself hundreds of potential new hires listening to the glories of working for your corporation. Our Alliance ad of the week. Become legendary. Become part of the Eternal Armada. Territory holding member of Query's Coalition, they have over 10 systems of territory with negative 0.9 sec status. Join the war against Terran Federation and get awesome PvP action and achieve glory. Come join the most active mining and industry community in EVE Echoes. There's something for everyone, and we are a close team that works together and has FCs that actually know what they are doing. Headed by players with collectively over 25 years in EO. You guessed it, the link is in the description. Let's talk about supply and demand. More volume wanted by buyers than there is volume available from the sellers means sellers can raise prices and still get sales. When you have near parity or more for sale than you have buyers, that's when the sellers have to start undercutting one another to make a sale. Consider Plex. Prices are usually steadily yet slowly climbing with inflation. When there's an influx of need for renewing a mega or buying fancy ships, sellers can watch their prices surge. Outside of those times, however, the more Plex available on the market there is, the lower they have to go to undercut each other just to get a sale. Take this into consideration with whatever you're planning on doing on the market, and don't be afraid to wait out trends.
And now for your kill mail of the week. A BSTM pilot took his rattlesnake on a casual stroll through a gate camp without using a scout. The Syndicate gate camp in question was very pleased to receive 11.6 billion ISK kill mail as a present, along with 21 sweet poison missions. Some lessons are costlier than others. And now for the bounty of the week. His name is Robo. Located in MTAC MD3B and surrounding area. Bounty amount is 35 million for the first 3 verified kills, normally seen in a hound hitting miners. The details to collect this bounty will be in the description.
Alright, this week we are talking with Shampizzle and Shay of The Coalition. How's it going, guys?
It's good. It's good. How you boys just holding?
We're doing good.
Yeah, so the Coalition. Your name is the Coalition.
Yeah, it's like every name has a great story behind it. So we're not foreign to this one. So basically, when I came to Eve Echoes, it was I came from Eve Online. You know how it goes. What I came for fun. I came to wreck some killmails, played for a week or two, and just go my merry way. And it kind of snowballed there. From like met some people, and we moved to Nullsec, to Pure Blind, and this snowball just kept rolling with more and more people and more corporations. Eventually, an alliance started, and where there were like more than 2 alliances, 3 alliances, we decided to create a coalition. So we had no name, and we were embroiled in a war with a Chinese alliance that we didn't have much time to decide what we're going to call our coalition, and we just said the coalition. And that's it. That's our great story.
That's how it all began.
It's pretty succinct.
Yeah, my story of actually coming into Pure Blind is a little different. I joined. I played a little bit of the beta, every MMO you could possibly imagine, and I did play Eve way back when. Like I was part of one of the beta players, but like for Eve Echoes, it was more of I joined some random freaking corporation. I was actually a member at first, and I kind of sort of hijacked it because I knew, like, because everybody was complaining about not being able to buy ores and stuff like that. So I freaking established an ore buying program, got all the miners freaking, doing what they need to do. I actually passed the CEO in the skills to being able to hold more members into the corp. And I was like, hey, I'm not trying to freaking, stub your toe, but like, my guy already has it. I'm already freaking pretty much, being the most vocal. So how about that I take it over? You can just do whatever you want to do. And he said, okay. And from there, it just kind of spiraled out of control.
He just up and gave it to you. All right.
Yeah, he pretty much gave it to me. And then the Colt for the actual TC coming together, I was actually talking to one of Shade's FCs. I'm like, hey, we got a Chinese corporation. It was actually, we don't discriminate at all, but they were actually attacking us. And so we're like, hey, on top of that, we were dealing with OBS on the same time. It's like, hey, who are your enemies? Oh, sweet. We have the same enemies? Hey, enemies of enemies is a friend. Let's all freaking rally up. And I already had 2 other alliances that was in the same boat. We already blew each other, and I freaking shuffled in about, I think, three alliances with Shay's little coalition that was already building. That's how TC became TC.
Piled them all on. That's a good way to build it.
You actually had a part to play in the creation of that name, unbeknownst to you, but you did. You played a part.
Who did? Me?
Yes, Jhoney.
No,
you did.
Oh.
It did. By when the RG9 Citadel Bash, when they made a report about that, they mentioned us by name, which was Boop. But after that, when the second Citadel Bash happened, they called us just by, I guess, what they heard, and it was TC. We tried to change the name, but when it wasn't the news, we were like, nah, it's already coined, so we're just gonna roll with that.
Oops, I'm sorry, and you're welcome. We try our best. Doesn't mean we're perfect, but we try.
It worked. You coined it for us.
Yeah, it worked because everybody's out there doing coalitions and stuff, and then when they go to the coalition, they're like, who the hell are they talking about? That's exactly what we were trying to do. We didn't want, me and Shay, we don't care about our egos. We don't care about freaking being like the top of the crop. We don't care about being on YouTube specials and all that stuff. So it actually worked in our favor because everybody's confused. Everybody doesn't know who we actually are. That's probably why we were left alone for so long.
Yeah, it's got to be a difficult search term.
Yeah, when they say coalition, they because I know recently there's actually an alliance that's called TC, and I'm getting DMs and apologies for attacking us, and it's not even us.
My own alliance. There is another alliance that we found out about that is almost the exact same name, just without the word "the" in it, and that's caused a lot of confusion as well. One of our member corps has the same name as one of the bigger alliances, and they've never heard of each other either. So yeah, it
Which I
piles
find
on.
interesting.
Yeah.
It does. It's fun. It gives you a little quirk in the whole diplomacy stuff because everybody's like, "Aren't you these guys?" I'm like, well, what are the corporation names?" And I was like, so I talked. Well, I'll ask Shay and I'll ask our SCs. Like, do you want us to make them believe that we're them, or do you want us to, put our name out there? And go, no, just let them believe we're them, and then they'll freaking just leave it alone. So, saying that we do a lot of tailoring when it comes to different types of wars, but I mean, it's all about piecemealing information out there as well. And
You just gave up our prized secret.
I'm pretty sure we don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm pretty sure everybody knows about it. I mean, to this day, I'm still getting questions about who we are.
I think you guys may have figured out a good way to kind of coast under the radar for a lot of people. What coalition? It's a coalition.
I will, to be fair, I was like, have you ever been booped before? And they go, nope. It's like, all right, well, then you definitely don't know who we are then. Well, that's what I'm saying in my head. Because all our guys do boop. That's their thing when we crush a fleet.
Boop.
Yeah, the booping local. It went kind of contagious.
Similar to how the honks honk.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. And caveat to that, that's actually a funny story. Is that pre-interdictors, the only reason why we actually became blue with honk is because we sat there and we fought with honk on a gate camp, and every time they killed one of our guys, they honked, and every time we killed one of their guys, we booped, and they thought we were doing it. They thought we were doing it as a to caveat to them. I was like, no, we've been doing this since the beginning of the game. So, and they were like, oh, that's freaking hilarious. Do you guys want to freaking? Sure, we'll blue. And then that's how our little cohesion of honk came into play.
Oh, that local chat went for miles. Honks and boops.
Oh,
Yes.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Just honks and boops in local. That's it. That's the whole local was filled with honks and boops.
I'm the only one that does whale cum. So.
I've been hearing that more
I'm
and
the
more.
special one.
Yeah,
He's coining it. He's coining it.
That's been my coin for at least 10 years. I've been doing that in every MMO that I've ever
and here I
played.
thought it was autocorrect.
Nope, it is not.
The basis for any good alliance relationship is honks, boops, and whale cum.
Yep.
Eve's come a long way.
It's been a great run with honk. It's I have nothing to say, and it's just they're an amazing bunch of people. Their propaganda is the best that the best that there ever will be.
Oh yeah, it's next level, definitely.
Yeah, I do hope other people take example from honk. Just purely neutral standpoint from the sidelines, I see a lot of people like either bitching or putting up big bold claims or trying to act tough in their propaganda and then getting into petty arguments. And then over on the other side, I just see honk posting, well, really special images.
The drawing book.
Their book.
Coloring
oh my
books
god,
and
that
parodies.
That shit was hilarious. I can't believe I sat here for a good 10 minutes just that one page. Color in RG9 or RG8's Citadel. I sat there and cried laughing for at least 10 minutes. It was freaking hilarious.
I had court members download that and they filled it out.
Same. I printed it.
Well, I think that's a good learning moment for anybody. Do that.
Yeah.
Be creative. Be positive. Be interesting with your propaganda. Don't just be the internet tough guy. Anybody can do that.
And to that point, I think ultimately too is have fun with it, right?
I mean, if you go to Iveco's Facebook, you can see the extent of hate and how propaganda is not done correctly by just scrolling down and watching that Requiem GenFed fight or whatever, and you can see that the posts are not filled with propaganda. They're filled with hate, just pure human hate.
Yeah, what happened to saying like GF and 07 after a fight instead of just endless shit talking?
Well, it's because we're in that toxic era, and I think you can thank Rust for that. Rust freaking definitely brought the hate and discontent and toxic era with this stuff. It's the gaming community itself that is toxic.
I'm not gonna agree with you on this one. I think the EVE Online community is not like that. So let's not try to paint a golden idol here on EVE Online, but many people did not come from EVE Online. I think the many leadership positions in FCs came from EVE Online, but not the major population. They didn't come from EVE Online. So the culture of good fight, GGs, and 07s and O/, it is an EVE Online coin, but it's not an EVE Echoes coin. I haven't seen a lot of people GF me after a fight or GF me after a solo. Most I've seen is just angry and hateful and spiteful DMs, private messages. The most extent I've seen is when I'm fighting against another EVE Online groups, another EVE Online fleets, and they do good fights in EVE Echoes. But I think it's the hate is coming from more casual groups than the hardcore EVE Online players, and no, Rust has nothing to do with that.
Truthfully, when the game came out and I seen 07, I never knew what 07 meant. I had to Google it.
It's a salute, man.
Yes, well, yeah, I know that now, but as a new player, I don't know any of that.
Yeah, very, very different target audiences.
I'm nice. I say good fight, and then I get these DMs, and most of it's translated. I know that the translator doesn't work very well, but like I've been called a goat. I've been called the sheep. I've been called like my whole family is a dog. It's like I have a good laugh with it.
One dog. They are all one dog.
Yeah,
That's
the translation
impressive.
is hilarious. It's hilarious. I don't know what they're trying to say, but I'm just sitting there laughing at them, and I think it just makes them even more angry. So they keep trying to translate. It's like, dude, I really can't understand what you're trying to say here. We're pretty much like a group of misfits that we joke around when we fly around. We're not serious. We open comm, like we do have battle comms. We have open comms. Usually the FCs are the only ones joking around. We do entice people to, if they can have a mic. I know most of them are usually at work and they can just freaking follow directions. But I was like, hey, have fun with it, because if you ain't having fun, then you guys aren't going to show up to these anymore. And like we do tons of drunk cops. I don't even care if I lose ships as long as we're having a good time.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like after playing EVE Online for 17 years, I've been there. I've done it all. I've been everywhere. I'm one of the pilots that tackled Tulsa Doom's Ragnarok, which was one of the first Titans to go boom in EVE Online.
Damn.
And commanded all the fleets from all the factions, probably. Done it all. The most thing that amazes me are the fleet commanders that said, on a CTA, if you've sit on a Titan for 6 hours, you gotta be silent. No mics. I mean, what for? Why? I mean, it's a game eventually. It's in the end, the end line. It's a game that you want to enjoy. But sitting 6 hours on a Titan, not saying a single word because some slash username on the internet told you so. I stopped doing that very quickly, and most of my fleets are open mics.
I started in Bob. So my alliance in this game is actually a reference to Band of Brothers from the original game EVE Online, because that's actually where I was learned and taught how to correctly, do everything PvP as a tackler, interceptor, interdictor, all that stuff. So that was, I had a grand old time learning how to do that stuff. But my main focus as I was growing up in the military was doing just the industry stuff. And this time around, I decided I'm not going to do anything industry. I'll help out with the industry if needed. At this point, we have a solid grasp on it where it's a perfectly well-oiled machine to an extent. So I was like, you know what? I just want to do the PvP aspect, and then I got rattled into. Well, I was one of at the time I was one of 3 FCs that would freaking mainly mainline. That's all we did was we would go out and do FC stuff. What happened? I was still on the bottom of the toll pole. I was just a freaking corporation CEO, and then we built an alliance, and then we got into the coalition, and then Shay talked to me offline and say, hey, you know what? There's no pure leaders in here, and because of your background at EVE Online and my background on EVE Online, how about we freaking start organizing PC to make it an actual growing force? I was like, sure, why not? And ever since then, I want to say I do a lot more EVE Discord more than freaking actually playing the game, unless we're doing FC, going out and blowing stuff up and whatnot. And it's been fun. I told Shay, I was like, hey, if we're going to do this, I want to freaking do my espionage stuff, and I love it. So I'm for TC.
He's my spy master.
I will say that I can freaking spy the shit out of anything I want.
You can talk the talk.
I can actually be the person that can gloat a little bit about it, of exactly pretty much. I want to say try not to give away too much freaking OPSEC on it, but just freaking being dismantled. I'm not going to say I'm a 100% freaking the reason why it happened, but I can say that I definitely had tons of freaking hands in that fishbowl to do so.
The mark of a good spy is going, hey, I'm a spy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you don't know if I'm bluffing or not. I could tell you right now that I have 16 accounts. I have 10 freaking accounts in Discord, but you don't know if I'm freaking telling you the truth or not. Freaking, I could tell you I have everybody in my freaking pocket. I can call out, I could go, hey, what's the information on this? What's the information on this? But you're not going to know because it's all about bluff. You're playing pretty much Texas Hold'em when you're doing spy stuff.
I can definitely vouch for everything Champizel says because, and I trust him 100% on everything he does because we have a history from EVE Online on this. The interview is taken, just from an interview to a bromancing and reminiscence of old EVE Online days.
It happens more often than not.
Oh well, when you play 17 years from 2003 when the game only first started, and you've basically had first that. The thing is that you start your account and you have 9,000 SP, just 9,000 SP, and you live through the ages, and then at one point new players get 1.5 million SP, and it's like, all right, I'm grumpy and I'm old.
Yeah, know the feeling. It was also quite a surprise when they get rid of all the learning skills and everything.
Yeah. Also, look, there is not much left to do in EVE Online. For many veterans, they leave because they don't find anything to do. And I actually made a break from EVE Online. I said enough. I'm gonna take my sweet break. And a few months after that, EVE Echoes comes out, and I was like, well, my break's over.
That's it. That sucked you back into it.
Yeah. I lost 7 years worth of work in a matter of 4 hours, so that's what killed it for me. Oh yeah, that was freaking thanks to Pandemic Legion back in the day. I lost a lot. I actually, with my ex-wife, I actually picked up my computer and chucked it. That's how pissed off I was.
Damn. How dare you?
Dude, I know
okay.
the kind of effect PL has, but damn.
Oh, you have no idea. I was contracted for them to seed their nullsec for the war on Goonswarm, and one CEO contracted me, the main alliance, their coalition or whatever the hell they're called, and they did a swapsies with a younger guy. I think I don't remember. It was he was in his teens that he came into control. They were losing the war with Goonstorm, so he thought he had a bright idea of going, oh, well, we're losing the ISK war, so what we're going to do, we just paid them freaking like $2.5 billion or whatever the price was back then. It might be inflated as shit now for how easy it is to get ISK. But they're like, oh, we're going to drop them and freaking blow all their shit up. So I had, at that point, like that was like where I was like the top of the freaking, my top of my game. I was seeding market because I broke off from Bob when Bob collapsed. I mean, I had a 300 or 200 to 300 freaking member corporation that would freaking strip mine, build capital ship components, seed markets for ammo, smaller ships, subcaps, all that stuff. And I had a reputable name through like not really like high up there, but freaking people knew who I was. And I would be able to get contracts to go and freaking seed their markets and make sure that they have enough ships, enough ammo, et cetera, to freaking, do what they need to do for freaking fighting. Well, Pandemic Legion freaking did it, and they took. I had 4 Titans at the time. I had 10 accounts. So I had 4 Titan pilots. I had 4 Titans. As soon as I had everything all in one spot, they took down all 4 of my Titans, about 35 jump freighters, 15-ish freighters, and about 2.7 trillion ISK worth of freaking seeding shit, all in 4 hours.
That is absolutely insane.
I'm surprised it didn't freaking hit media waves, honestly, because that but here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. So that Green CEO did not know the kill board has a 24-hour delay on if they kick somebody out. So they didn't take that 2 trillion something whatever the freaking kill mark was on it. They actually didn't take a win on it. They took a loss. So, and I was like, after that, I was done with Eve Online. Freaking, I think I sold my beta account for almost $12,000.
For what?
$12,000.
US?
My beta account, yes, US dollars, $12,000. Because I think I was one of the top 20 guys.
And some people say Eve isn't a job.
I work about 17 hours a day in the military, so I'd freaking do about 8 hours a day in Eve.
So you were working 25 hours a day?
Pretty practically, it felt like it. Oh yeah, this is before I freaking had before I was married, had kids. So freaking I had nothing else better to do except for sit in my apartment and do nothing.
Did you take a break on December 35th?
No, it was what's Bender's robot Fiesta week. I think that was the one that I take a time off.
I tell you what, though, since I got into this game, I've definitely learned a lot. I've learned a lot, not only about just EVE in general, but the player base and Discord and the meta of it. It's just insane.
You get to see because everybody's on the same page. There's no skill injectors you can buy. You can't throw money at the game. You don't have to worry about whales other than the shinies. Skills, if you want to see how EVE Online skills are, go play the game. I'll tell you hands down. EVE Online, you're not able to jump into a cruiser this quickly. You actually have to freaking build up your frigates, your frigate skills to even get into a destroyer. So if you want to get into a cruiser, you need to build up your frigate, your destroyers before you can even get into the cruiser. Now, with that being said, that means that you actually have to go in and go, okay, well they're using mediums. Medium fittings. So now you have to go down a freaking rabbit hole list of all the skills. This includes the E-War stuff, the shields. I don't even think damage controls are really used that much unless you're PvEing in freaking EVE Online. We're seeing, so in EVE Echoes, you're only seeing about 50% of the freaking skill list.
I will correct you there. The damage control in EVE Online was used in 75% of the fit.
I did see it a lot, yeah.
In EVE Online, damage control was one of the to-go items.
Also, those skills were all per faction. In Echoes, you don't have to train Mimitar Battleship and Galente Battleship.
Wow.
And Amara Battleship.
Yeah. When it was still, you would still be able to lose skill points because you didn't update your clone. I was in the heat of battle. I lost a carrier. I took another carrier out because, war, and I forgot to update my clone. And 3 weeks later, I realized that my Amar carrier level 5 dropped to Amar carrier level 4.
That's painful.
And that was, I think, 36 or something days.
EVE Online back in the day, I want to say about like 2012, 2013. It was brutal. I want you guys to throw curveballs is what I like.
Well,
Because
those,
that's my game. Well,
So if
I
a
mean,
train leaves a station going at 45 miles an hour, is that not the kind of curveball you're talking about?
oh, you can go ahead. I'll nail it. I'll nail it. Don't you worry. You just go ahead and continue on with the trade.
So if the train leaves the station going 45 miles an hour and Susie has 3 apples, what time is it on the moon?
All right. So, we'll put it right here. With my spy network, that train's never going to leave the station because we're probably gate camp before it leaves, or Shay's going to bring a freaking a fleet out there to take it about midway through where they have no defense.
What
And the
about
time on the
Susie?
moon, about that time will happen is whenever Shay gets there, really.
Moon. What moon? I need to know the location of the moon. What moon? What system?
Yeah.
Space. Outer space.
Yeah.
We're doing gate camps. It's fun. It gives you a little camaraderie because, like how Shay says, is that we have open comms most of the time, not the big fights. But when we're doing gate camps, we just sit there and shoot the shit, freaking enjoy the members freaking talking shit to each other.
No, the game is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a retreat from work. It shouldn't become a second job, especially if it's a mobile game. So, I don't see myself as a leader, coalition, or leader of an alliance, or this glorious figure that I think that certain people that we won't mention their names. That they position themselves as this kind of a dictatorship, and that's if you don't come to that CTA or that timer, that you're just gonna get kicked, just verbally abused, maybe even. No, I consider myself a content creator for the players that decided to join me or my alliance or my coalition. I am creating content, so they will stay. They'll be interested to see what we have to offer, and I think it's the most important part of any game, not even a mobile game. When you have an interaction with other players, is that they need to feel that, let's say, they are not loved, of course, because again it's a game, but they're tended to, right? So that there is enough content for them, that they're interested, and the interaction is positive. I think this is the most important aspect, that this game or any other game, like I said, for instance, should be presenting to the player, and not just come to a station timer defense, or you get kicked out of a corporation or alliance. I wanna say thanks to if anyone that will listen from TC and from our esteemed allies from FF, COW, VVV, TF, all the boys that were flying together against SHH. Is just guys, keep playing the game. Just keep playing the game for what it is.
All right, Champ, Shay, and Rambo. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. If you guys want us to, so we can continue on, let us know because
Yeah,
I mean, obviously we have a lot of experience.
Oh yeah, so much to talk about. We definitely need you on again.
All right. We're up for that.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Thanks for talking with us.
Have a good one,
All right.
guys. That's a wrap for this week. As always, Deep Dive of the week's most important stories and the week in review can be found at Eve Echo's weekly news update on YouTube at Echoes from the Front. We got it linked in the show notes.
And if you want to hear your kill mails, bounties, or corporate alliance ads, or even your own voice as a guest of the week, come join our Discord and say hey. Link is in the description.
If you really like the show, chisel a review on a stone. You could leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, and we have also launched a Patreon to keep the lights on around here. You can check it out. Link is in the description. We got some cool little subscription prizes and little bonuses, and all of the good, happy, warm fuzzies from us. You're awesome. All right, till next week, fly dangerously.
Thanks for listening. See you next week. Cover your giblets with this Condor interceptor.
Condor codpiece.